welcome to the Breachers VR Master League. My name is Chambate. We're here in the third week of Season 4, but we're watching a Week 2 matchup. Again, my name is Chambate with Plague Doctor and Yellow Hat to watch this incredible Diamond and Silver content, guys. How you doing? Tell me about these teams.
I'm doing very well. You know, we've got QuadHeadShot versus Blue.x today. Two teams which people have been seeing around, I feel like around the community a little bit, you know, especially we have some people in chat mentioning, you know, Blue.x and QuadHeadShot. You know, we've seen DragonMan21 talking about ready for Blue.x to put some BTA, or, you know, OC06 talking about this is going to be fire. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup here. Diamond and Silver, but neither team has played too many matches, so I don't think we can count either of them out yet.
Yeah, and I do have to say it's quite interesting looking at the connoisseur votes. I feel like I bring that up every cast, but it's especially interesting when it seems to be so lopsided by the community here, since we have 61 people voting for QuadHeadShot and then just 3 voting for Blue. And it's interesting because just looking at the connoisseur votes for the rest of the week for some of the other matches, I mean, more people have voted on this match for QuadHeadShot to win than people have voted for like Acer to win their match or whatnot. So it's definitely interesting, and I wonder if it is going to be as lopsided as people think it is going to be, or if it's going to be a little bit more even. You never know.
Yeah, you never really know on it. Looks like we are just waiting for some players to come in here, but while we wait on that, you know, it looks like this was a match that was actually postponed from last week, hence why we have Week 2 up here. But I think it's going to be interesting. You know, you only have, I'm not quite sure which team postponed it, but you only have one postpone as per the rules. So I'm surprised to see teams using that immediately.
Sometimes that's, sometimes, things just don't work out scheduling wise. Sometimes you maybe want to just bring your best rosters. It really depends. But yeah, I mean, burning that one postpone you get per season is pretty interesting to do early on, but you never know. Maybe they'll be all good for the rest of the season. At least we would hope over on the casting bench here. But otherwise, I mean, you got anything else to say about our matchup for right now? Any little early predictions as to maybe what maps we're going to see at all?
Well, I do know that we have a couple bans here. I'm not quite sure what the bans are looking like for Blue.x, but I do know that we do have Headshot banning Dam. So we won't be seeing Dam. If I had to guess, we'll probably be seeing a ban from Blue.x on Maul. So I feel like my predictions here are we're probably going to see Hideout. I'd say there's a good chance we're going to see Factory. The one map I don't think we're going to see is probably Arctic. Sorry, I had to reconcile that.
Think about that one. Yeah,
probably Arctic.
Good. Yeah, I mean, just kind of looking at the all-time history for both these teams. For Blue.x, Factory, it is their most played map, but not their most successful map, as they do have a 37% win rate on that. Whereas QuadHeadShot, just kind of looking, I mean, they have a 47% win rate on Factory, but they've played it 15 times, won it 7. Their most played map definitely does seem to be Hideout, and, they've won it 41% of the time. And then Blue.x, they've played Hideout 32 times, but only won it 9 times. So, I mean, I think for both of these teams, we might just see Hideout purely just based on experience, just right off the bat.
Folks, that is going to be quite an exciting matchup. A lot of anticipation in the live chat as well. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Folks, we're going to go into a brief break. We'll be right back, and we're going to come at you live with QuadHeadShot and Blue.x. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still missing some players on both sides, but we're going to yap it out. How do you guys think? Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, my name is Chumbate. I'm here with Plague and Yellow Hat watching a Diamond and Silver match. Tonight it's QuadHeadShot and Blue.x, and we're waiting on a few more players.
Yep, waiting on a few more players here, and I think I was right here partially. It looks like Blue.x is going to be banning Ship that I'm hearing. So we're not going to be seeing Ship. We're not going to be seeing Dam, but we could see Maul, actually, which could be an interesting play here. I'm not quite sure.
I was going to say, it would certainly be a wild card pick. I mean, neither one of these teams have played Maul, according to the website, which, you know, the website is always right. So, you know, it's it'll be interesting to see if, you know, they actually decide, hey, we're just going to throw this out. Maybe, like, if anything, maybe that's like a map 3 pick if one team winds up taking it all the way to map 3 or whatnot. But, you know, I mean, I'm feeling like we're just going to see more of the standard, like, you know, everybody's fan favorite Hideout, maybe Factory, maybe Skyscraper, you know, just the original 3, which, you know, there's nothing wrong. You know, there's always something to be said about the classics, I guess. But, you know, a Maul pick would always be interesting. We're always rooting for that on the casting bench here, of course. So, you know,
Yeah.
hopefully one of these days we get a little bit more Maul action. But, you know, with it being the newest, a lot of those teams are definitely still learning Maul and everything here. So, you know, for right now, it might just be kind of on the wayward side there. But, you know, I'm definitely predicting a Hideout that could just be a map number 1, or it could be a Skyscraper. Honestly, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards here.
Yeah, no, that's about the same for me. I will say, you know, we're almost a quarter of the way through the season here. If some teams haven't gotten plays on Maul, it's gonna backfire on them, I feel like, a little bit, because some teams, you know, as soon as you aren't going to be banning Maul, some teams are going to have really good plays on Maul soon, I feel like. And if you're going to be waiting until the end to get anything on Maul, you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to, especially with a new map, you don't want to hold off on learning that at all. You want to, you know, if anything, be practicing that in scrims, which I'm sure a lot of these teams, especially the top teams, are doing, so that they don't get blindsided, you know, if they make it all the way up to, you know, season finals and whatnot, or even like top 8, you know. You just want to be as prepped as you can on all maps. And I think, you know, especially we've seen some of the top teams starting to learn these maps and starting to really play it. And so it would be nice, especially to see a Maul pick from, you know, any decently high ranked team, just to see, you know, how a good team plays on the map in the first place. Again, with it being brand new and everything, you know, people are learning, people are trying to figure out what that meta is. But I mean, you know, otherwise, I think we're just still waiting on maybe one more player here. We'll have to see, but I think we're getting close to map number 1.
And it looks like we'll see, you know, if we do get that last player in. I think we're about ready to get into it. We'll see, though.
Do we have a map 1 at this?
I think we're starting. Okay. Skyscraper is going to be our first map here. With a sudden start there, I'm glad we got started in. Skyscraper was not what I was expecting. You know, I feel like, you know, correct me if I'm wrong here, Yellow, but it feels like more of a not one-sided, but definitely, you know, more skewed towards one team than another than they could have picked.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just looking at the stats from earlier, I mean, both these teams have played Skyscraper a fair bit. Both teams have actually won it 5 times, and, you know, QuadHeadShot have played it 11 times, Blue.x have played it 13 times. So, I mean, it's actually pretty decently evenly matched in terms of, you know, both these teams and their win rates and whatnot. The other thing with Skyscraper is it is one of those maps that does feature much longer range angles than pretty much any other map when it comes to breachers. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what, you know, both these teams kind of cook up here, but we are going to get into that first round here. So Mr. Plague Doctor, I will let you go ahead and take this one away. Get us started.
Sounds good. It looks like we do have QuadHeadShot, unfortunately, starting on a 4v5 here, maybe just not able to get that 5th player in, but I think they'll be able to get it off. You know, they're not too much of a disadvantage here. It looks like they are going to be going on the off-meta push here onto A. Bot Arne strongly pushing in from Courtyard, maybe trying to bait out some of these Blue.x players. Play space diffuser, waiting in the point with that Spectral along with Aimbot. QuadHeadShot pushing straight into the point here. They're looking to maybe get a plant down if they can. bit stuck outside right now. It looks like Akona is hoping to push in. Bot Arne actually managed to survive, is going to get seen by Colt here. Colt on the back line with that Cyclone. Hopefully, Karapika here from QuadHeadShot checks their flank as Colt takes out Block Blast. And Karapika here, Pixel Walker takes out War.x. PlaySpace takes out Kokona. Now, just a single thing left for Blue.x to win this round. They just need to defuse the EMP, and that, I believe, is going to be a flawless from Blue.x immediately. Pistol round here already taken by Blue.x.
Yeah, it was certainly nice to, see QuadHeadShot at least get that EMP down, but to not get a single pick off of that entire round, I mean, that's not really a good start. Now, again, yeah, I understand they're playing 4v5 essentially, but even then, Colt was just able to walk up behind them and not get traded out at all. And that's not really what you want to see right away. You want to put yourself in positions where you can trade out the opponent and whatnot. And Colt just kind of walks up in the back, shoots him in the back of the head with a Cyclone, and, I believe gets 3 kills there. So Colt definitely being the MVP for Blue.x that round. But I mean, again, QuadHeadShot, they're actually force buying into this. We do see 3 omens there, and then we do have 2 omens and an RCP onto Blue.x. So interesting to see that more teams are electing to force buy in the second round, as compared to back in the day where everybody would just save with spectrals. But even then, if QuadHeadShot can't win this round, then I mean, they're really not going to be in a good position going into the rest of this half.
Yeah, no, the pistol round and the round after are super important when it comes to your economy. Even if you lose your pistol round, you can still get it back with SMGs. Looks like Bot Arne is coming in from Vent. Meanwhile, the rest of these QuadHeadShot players are going to be trying to push in, I believe, onto B here. 3 of these players on Blue.x guarding B, unfortunately, for QuadHeadShot. They'll probably be able to hear any repel that happens. I believe QuadHeadShot maybe biding their time a little bit here. Bot Arne is going to get taken out immediately by Colt. But Colt does take a little bit of damage here, and is now, I believe, going to be almost flanked out. Blue.x, all of these players here on the window. Pixel Walker takes out one as Krupka takes out Pixel Walker. Colt here still does take out Block Blast. PlaySpace Fuser claims the Cyclone there. EMP is down outside the point here. QuadHeadShot is going to be stuck outside the window so they can get in. Krupka pushes in, does get the EMP here, but Blue.x trying to get a strong foothold on this room. Does push in, take out Krupka, and Alticon climbs out the bottom window, takes out War.x, and this is going to be rough here for QuadHeadShot. They're going to have to try to get off rounds. Now going to be down a good bit of money. I do quickly want to thank As Delta for the $5 donation, saying Upper Nickel Sick. Thank you very much for that donation.
Love to see it. Love to see it. But yeah, no, I mean, Blue.x definitely playing on their A game. And I mean, of the 2 rounds, they've only had 1 player die entirely. So it's been a pretty good half for them, almost near perfect half for them. And then QuadHeadShot, again, they're just going to be on those SMGs. The bot winds up buying a Cadillo, so maybe that goes into use of one of the players later. We'll have to see. But again, over on Blue.x side, mostly SMGs. They're just saving them for the round previous, and they're just building up that economy. I mean, Colt's on 5,200, PlaySpace Abusers on 5,800. I mean, they're rolling in the dough right now, and they're going to be, if they keep this up, I mean, they're going to be set up for pretty much the rest of the half here if they keep playing like they're playing right now. But we are going to get into round number 3. We're going to see a little bit of a drop and perhaps an entry onto the TV studio here. And Pixel Walker is going to be watching the windows there. They do have that double trip mine set up over to the left, over on the door. Pixel Walker finds the first kill onto block there. No refrag comes out. They do a little bit of damage onto Pixel there, but Kokona finally finds a pick there. Aimbot going down, and Colt losing a good amount of their health as well. And then, of course, the bot just kind of patiently waiting outside the window. So Pixel Walker does find Kokona, though, and QuadHeadShot are going to fall back off of this. They're not going to, really commit to the studio there, and maybe you're going to reassess kind of what push they're going to do here.
I've been seeing this recently from the bots that they've been waiting outside the windows. I think maybe one of the recent updates broke the bots a little bit. Normally if I see a bot waiting outside a window, I'm fairly confident that it's going to immediately break that window out and just go straight in, but I guess not. Now it is, because because QuadHeadShot shot out the window for him, but otherwise I don't think he was coming in. Now, if I'm QuadHeadShot here, I probably would have killed the bot for that Cadillo rather than just taking the SMGs. A rifle here, even if it is a Cadillo, is a really useful addition to your loadout, especially when you're down on numbers. You know, you have bot RNA trying to push through on the wall here. There is going to be a flank from alt account here. Pushing in, is going to take out Kravka, is trying to take out Wardax, but Wardax gets the refrag here. 3v2 here, but really a 3v1 as bot RNA strolls straight on into B. Undaunted. We'll see if he can... he gets killed there by Pixel Walker on a flank watch. I mean, I've seen occasionally these bots, you know, get a good kill off. It was one of the off-season casts that I did where actually someone died to a bot drop-shotting them with a Knut. So I was interested to see if we'd get that.
I hope somebody has a clip of that.
Wardax is a great pickoff there on Pixel Walker. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, you're good. Wardax, very nice shots. And then, of course, Nade coming out, 20 seconds left. So that he's just going to disrespect the Molly, though. But Colt going to put him down pretty quickly here. And Blue.x going to be up 3-0. So, again, a fantastic start for them. And they're not really, you know, I don't think they really have to invest in too much. I mean, you know, now we're going to see 4 rifle. Yeah, 4 rifles. I can count, I promise. And then QuadHeadShot also on, you know, 4 rifles, and then the bot over on the Arl there. So I mean, if you're QuadHeadShot, I mean, I feel like the first thing you got to do here is try to just put yourself in a position where you can really just trade out somebody. And I know trading out a bot is of course way harder because they only have a W key, it seems. But even then, just like the rest of the players, they need to trade each other out. So that's going to be something that they got to work on here for, you know, the remainder of the half. Hopefully they're able to make it happen, but you know, a lot of utility going over onto Blue.x there. QuadHeadShot, they have a little bit to work with, but mainly they're just going to be relying on those Maruis there. So we'll see what happens, but Plague Doctor, I'll let you go ahead and take this one away.
I have to say here, you know, it's a bit rough for QuadHeadShot, especially they're proving something like 50 people who were thinking they would win. They're proving them a little bit wrong here, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like we do have Kokona on the drone here, trying to get some information for their team, you know, getting some wall bangs in. We do have a more even economy here, kind of, you know, gun-wise, but when it comes to just straight-up money, Blue.x is leading by quite a bit. We do have Wardax trying to push in here, kind of stuck in the courtyard. I'm quite surprised to see a courtyard push here from QuadHeadShot. Alt account backs into the corner. Not much room to push in here for QuadHeadShot if they're trying to push in here on courtyard. I don't know. I feel like I would switch maybe to the other point. They did try, I believe, an A push before, but this is their first time on this point specifically, so I'm not quite sure. Wardax does push in, take out alt account. They could try to push in bathroom here. Kokona takes out Colt. Now a 5v3, looking better for QuadHeadShot here as they do drop some of these players. However, the rest of these Blue.x players do have rifles.
Yeah, I mean, those are so key opening picks for QuadHeadShot to try to make happen there. And that, you know, could allow them to finally get their first round onto the board. But, you know, I don't want to lay the caster curse on anything just yet. Somehow the bot is still alive, but the bot is going to push right through. And, you know, again, 4 versus 3. And Wardax is actually going to go all the way around to the window. Nice headshot coming out for Block Blast there. And Wardax finds the kill on the aimbot. And just like that, Pixel Walker goes down. And a near perfect round from QuadHeadShot this time around as they pick up their first round.
Yeah, no, it's looking better here for QuadHeadShot. They do get a round off. And now, you know, they do have a pretty good economy. Luckily, Blue.x did save a little bit, so they can get some rifles. However, if they can't maintain that, it's going to be rough for them. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what they try to do here and get it off. They do have a good bit of economy, so they're setting this up well. I do see maybe they accidentally bought that. I saw a clone be bought, and I was a bit worried, but it looks like maybe they just accidentally
you don't want to do that.
Brought up the clone, yeah.
Yeah, and then interesting buy coming in from Blue.x. I don't know, maybe feeling a little bit confidence, or maybe they have a cheeky play up their sleeve, but we do see aimbot on that Knut there. So that is going to be quite interesting. The rest of them, of course, on rifles, Place-Based Abuser over on the Arl there. So mostly even fight, but for the first time, you know, this half, QuadHeadShot seems to have the loadout advantage at least. So we'll see if they are able to make use of that. Of course, the bot still chilling on the RL, saving that from last round, but we're going to get things going here on round number 5 with a repel and perhaps a quick entry onto that third floor lobby area. Kurapika, that's a mouthful of a name to say, but nevertheless, takes a little bit of damage there, but is going to be able to stimmy up there, and then alt account with a interesting double mine placement there. But they're actually on the quad headshot side going to reconsider and go over towards the stairs here, and Colt is going to be the first one here to try to see if they can make anything happen. Just patiently holding the angle. They do have the support from Pixel Walker as well as a player placed over on the other side of that hallway, but again, quad headshot playing the patient game, and a nice headshot coming in, but not coming out of aimbot, and Pixel Walker getting the headshot onto Kurta there. So now what was once an advantage, Pixel Walker finding another nice kill onto Block Blast, and now all of a sudden it's a 2 versus 4 for quad headshot this round, kind of falling apart, but Wardax does find play space abuser there. We're back to a 2 versus 3, minute 20 left on the clock, still plenty of time to work with for quad headshot there, but it's really more so of a 1v3 with the bot still alive. But props to the bot for staying alive and not just W keying in, but Wardax does need to find that EMP and needs to try to recover that, but it looks like it is being guarded over by Blue.x there. 55 seconds left on the clock, and another nice headshot coming in for Wardax. No damage taken, so a bit of an unnecessary fight coming in for Pixel Walker. Maybe went to go check, but unbeknownst to Wardax here, might find... Oh my god! Finds the kill out there, and then alt account finds the kill onto Wardax. So now it is pretty much up to the bot, which I don't think they can take control of, if I'm right.
They cannot take control of it, and I believe there's a piece of utility that stop it. Yeah, there's a prox there that I think the bot was a little paralyzed by. Like, it kept trying to go down, then went back up, go down, go back up. I think maybe the devs maybe messed up the bots a little, but it happens in some of these.
But either way, technical stuff aside, I mean, that was a very nice round coming out from Wardax. I mean, found some pretty difficult kills there, but unfortunately not able to make that happen. So Blue.x gonna be up 4-1, and then again, Wardax up 7-4 as we kind of flash the scoreboard a little bit. Pixel Walker 8-4. We're seeing some solid individual contributions there, and nobody really lacking too far behind. But again, just Blue.x, they're playing a really solid game, and especially that last round, they were getting some really key opening picks.
Yeah, no. And, going into it now, bit of a soft buy from QuadHeadShot. They don't have a ton of money to work with. Meanwhile, Blue.x pretty confidently going into a full buy here. I'm surprised they're not seeing more utility coming out on this last round. You would think they would, buy everything they could, but it looks like they're going a bit conservative, actually. PlaySpace User could buy out basically the entire store right now. Looks like they've chosen not to. Looks like we have Block Blast pushing straight down to a door blocker. They will not find anything. And actually, surprisingly, no flanking from Blue.x. We've been seeing a good amount of flanks from them, but they decided not to this time. A great incendiary. Going to take them down to half.
Yeah, I was talking about this a little bit yesterday on cast, especially with the recent incendiary nerf. It was nerfed from being active for 15 seconds down to 10 seconds, and so even despite that, we've seen some pretty solid incen usage, and Blue.x definitely proving that they are also solid with it as well, and that it's still a viable piece of util. Wardax finding a very nice kill onto alt account there, so good start up there for QuadHeadShot. They definitely needed that opening pick, and so we're going to be seeing what looks to be potentially a B site push, again, some pre-fire going through the wall, but maybe a bit of a rotate here as, Wardax and Kurta going to be going over, and unfortunately the bot decides to go down, but what happens. Alarm goes down to the flank, going to be open, and aimbot taking a lot of damage there, actually. Minute 10 on the clock, getting closer and closer to this round end, but QuadHeadShot still have some time to work with. Wall gets breached, PlaySpace Abuser gets traded out, Colt gets the trade onto Block Blast, finds a second onto Wardax there, and now it's just Kokono with 2 HP and a dream, but they might just be electing to full save here at this point.
They can't
but even
save.
then, I mean, it's the last round. Yeah, they have to go for it, so going to be a bit difficult. They're going to go through the window, but their position going to be exposed, and they need to hope for some crazy headshots here. But and there it is, the pre-fire from aimbot.
Pre-fired out.
The very, very tight angle, and Blue.x with a near perfect half. 5-1 is the score, and we are going to be swapping sides.
That's gotta hurt here for QuadHeadShot to go down that many rounds. Now Blue.x is swapping onto, correct me if I'm wrong here, Yellow Hat, but onto the more favorable side for Skyscraper. I've heard a lot of people say that it's offensive, not defensive sided.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how a lot of these metas kind of change over the seasons, and you are right, from what I've heard from a decent amount of players, it does tend to favor the offense a little bit more. So we'll see if Blue.x are just going to severely take advantage of that, and if they close it out 7-1. I mean, if they win this pistol round, I mean, it's going to be really, really tough for QuadHeadShot to pretty much do anything here at this point. But this is definitely, if there's a round that QuadHeadShot need to lock in and win, it's going to be this round.
I mean, the good news is, because they are on defense, their bot has a little more self-preservation than they do on offense, so they may be able to get some good baits off. We do actually have, I believe, 2 players looking to push in on Red Room onto servers, and actually some going into Vent. Definitely a B push here from Blue.x, which it looks like QuadHeadShot is going to be preempting. A great nade there onto the stairs is going to almost kill PlaySpace Abuser. What a great nade from QuadHeadShot. Looks like they are going to be pushing straight in. Blue.x already has the wall foamed here. Karapaka Kurta here on the other side of the wall is going to quickly find himself trapped inside their own point. Bolt is ready. Aimbot does blow open the wall. Takes out both players.
Ooh, that timing.
That's a rough set of kills there. Pixelwalker takes out Karapaka. Kakona takes out alt account. Now it is 2-1 Blue.x player against 3 QuadHeadShot players, while 2 QuadHeadShot players plus a bot. And he's in the back room. I almost think you kind of just have to either bait out some of these QuadHeadShot players or just go back up to the roof. Now you're sitting at 5 health. I just feel like, minute 20 here, I feel like you have to just go up to the roof. There's not much of a chance here. The 300 health over on QuadHeadShot side, 5 on PlaySpace Abuser. That's 60 times the health.
Some quick math we can do there. That's for certain. We are pretty smart here over on the casting desk here, but nevertheless, I mean, definitely a different QuadHeadShot coming out that round. And it's funny that we were saying it's offensive sided, and then of course this is a round that they lock in over on the defense. So maybe things will change when we have that first full rifle round, but we are just going to be hanging out for the next 40 seconds as PlaySpace Abuser is going to be presumably saving here over on the roof. But I mean, yeah, definitely a good round to see out of QuadHeadShot, making things happen there. But any other thoughts that you have as we're just going to be hanging out for a little bit here while
it looks like we'll be hanging out, but we are going to be pushing straight in on radio. Hopefully we get taken out by Wardax. But while we transition to the next round, QuadHeadShot did take their second round here. I do want to shout out Bluebird, AZ Delta, Soundwave, Skullpex VR, Trick, and Eros for being in the chat here. Thank you all for coming out and watching this matchup. We're happy to have you on the VRML network channel. And we're happy to be here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, people are saying already that this is going to be the upset of the year, which again, let me point out the connoisseur votes here, because I feel like we might have a lot of upset connoisseurs, but 61 people voted for QuadHeadShot to win today, whereas a measly 3 voted for Blue.x. So, yeah, this might be we might be seeing if a lot of people lose their connoisseur votes here for the day.
Definitely some unhappy connoisseurs.
But that's the name of the game. Sometimes you vote right, and sometimes you're just horrifically wrong. So we'll see if maybe QuadHeadShot are able to pull it back. Maybe we have less upset connoisseurs, but nevertheless, we're gonna see QuadHeadShot actually, buying into this one as they rightfully should, because they won the last round. And then also over on the Blue.x side, we do have Colt and Alt account buying those SMGs. So interested to see what will happen with those two.
Yeah, we do have aimbot dropping in here. Might get taken down by Block Blast if you're not careful. Block Blast does take down aimbot. That's a very early drop for Blue.x. It's looking a little better for QuadHeadShot here, actually. We'll see if they can hold this player lead. Throwing a grenade out, unfortunately, does not get any damage off. Pixel Walker is down to half with no stim. Block Blast moving up the stairs, takes out Colt. And now Pixel Walker, if he wants that Omen, has to contend with Block Blast, who's watching it very carefully. He does grab that Omen. However, EMP is actually stuck outside the window here as Altacount takes out Bot Emil. But there are 3 players here that are able to watch the window, plus Block Blast, who is trying to take out Pixel Walker. We do have Playspace Abuser pushing in from outside the hallway. See if we can get any kills off. Kropika and Kokona both sitting in this point. Kokona barely not getting the kill off there on Playspace. And now Altacount looking to rotate over. I'm surprised to not see a climb out here from QuadHeadShot. But they aren't up in numbers enough. Block Blast takes out Pixel Walker. Now a 4v2 for Blue.x. Maybe we spoke a little early here, as it is now a 4v1 and EMP is down.
That is certainly not what you want if you are Blue.x, but of course a great feeling if you're QuadHeadShot. You have control of the round again, and so once again, Playspace Abuser just going to be hanging out on the roof. You know, teammate tried to go for some sort of a play there, which, you know, of course you want to go for plays every now and then, but you know, ultimately losing that Omen in the process. So, you know, that's a little bit of economic destruction there, honestly. So, QuadHeadShot, unless Playspace Abuser magically pulls off a 4K here, it's looking like QuadHeadShot are likely going to be winning this round here.
Yeah, and I have to say, you know, while we wait, I'm somewhat surprised to not see QuadHeadShot opting to get a league sub in. A league sub would be better than getting a, you know, a bot in here, as Block Blast takes out Playspace Abuser. You know, they are going up on some rounds, but I think having a league sub would be a lot better than having a bot who's just going to get themselves killed. You know, I'm surprised to see them not opting for that. We have a pretty healthy pool of ringers for people to bring in.
Got out the ringers. But, you know, I mean, like, QuadHeadShot, they're still doing it up. I mean, they've got 2 rounds here, but I think this is going to be the real round that kind of determines things here. You know, of course, we have our first full buy round, and, you know, over on Blue.x, they have some SMGs, and then we have 1 Marui and 1 Arl. And then over on our QuadHeadShot side, we have 1 Vezin and 3 SMGs. So, again, a pretty even buy coming out of both these teams. Nobody really too far ahead of the other, but I will say QuadHeadShot going to be ahead in terms of the economy there, at least, and in terms of utility as well. So that could be the make or break difference as we go into round number 9 here.
Yeah, and it looks like they will be trying to push in, actually, on the stairs over by A. Just a bit of a meta push, pushing down towards the windows. Kokona putting some shots out on the window, trying to just probe if there's anyone out there. Does hear it go in. Drone is in. Will most likely drone out Kokona here. Kokona does get droned out. We'll see if they try to go back through. Almost goes for Hail Mary nade. Aimbot is in. Altacount is in. Pixel Walker is in. Aimbot takes out 1. Wardax takes out Aimbot. Altacount takes out Wardax. Great nade there. Nearly taking out Altacount. Now a 3v3. However, the bot is in the other point. We do have a flank here from Block Blast, who will most likely take out Colt if he steps out in this hallway. We'll hopefully see a flank watch here from Blue.x. I'd be very surprised if they don't flank watch here. Colt pushes out, does take out Block Blast.
Nice.
Now we just have Kropika here holding the points down on their own. We'll see if they do have foam here. Kropika does try to push out. Altacount does take out Kropika. Now it is just Bot Emil who seems paralyzed over on the other point, and it looks like Blue.x is just going to be sweeping through, trying to take them out. Bot Emil does get taken down. Luckily, Blue.x not losing any players. I have had, very unluckily, I've had a bot take down one of my players during a match, which is just rough, you know, losing economy to a bot. But Blue.x does get that off.
Definitely a morale thing, but you know, we're on match point now for Blue.x, and they're just going all in. We got Vezins, we got Maruis, and both teams actually just, you know, buying all in, because, you know, this could be the final round here potentially. But you know, QuadHeadShot, they were starting to lock it in on defense a little bit, and, you know, they lost probably one of the most key rounds, which is that, of course, that first full buy from both teams. But hopefully we'll, you know, hopefully they have still a little bit of fight left in them and they can make something out of this round. But Blue.x, of course, they win this round, they win game number 1, and we'll just be moving right on to that next map. So in what could potentially be the final round here, Plague, I will let you go ahead and take this one away.
Yeah, we have a near full buy here from QuadHeadShot. 3 Maruis. It's nice to see Maruis and Arills coming out. After the buffs, it's nice to see some teams switching over. We only have a Marui and a Vezin here. Actually, it looks like might be a hatch play from Blue.x. They do get a very careful drone through. Block Blast is upstairs, maybe trying to preempt that. We'll see if Blue.x can get this off fast enough. Bottom Meal is nearly alone on the point. Wardax and Kurapika both are below. And Bottom Meal trying to get some hits off there. One of the only times I've seen a bot actually shoot up through a vent. I haven't really seen that too much. Looks like we do have a flash about to come out here from Blue.x. They're preparing to push in. Kona is up on the table here, trying to just probe out and make sure they can get this point down. Kurapika is ready. Block Blast takes out Pixel Walker, who is heading to the other hatch. I don't know if I would... I feel like if I'm Blue.x here, I would probably drone out the point rather than trying to drone out the roamer. There's a roamer. I feel like you need to just get claim over the point. You have numbers advantage if there is a roamer. You can just get straight in. Kakona gets pushed in on here. Kurapika takes out Colt as well as Aimbot, one with the grenade, one with the Marui. Also takes out Kurapika, but now Blue.x has the point. Wardax is stuck outside. Block Blast coming up through the hatch. Now Blue.x needs to play this pretty carefully. 2v2, however, they do need to defend this point. There is one up in hatch, so hopefully they don't try to just over-peek this. Wardax very carefully checking all the angles he can with that Omen. Now, going up against a Marui and a Vezin. Now, Altcount takes out Block Blast. Wardax gets taken out there by Playspace Abuser. And Blue.x takes... oh my goodness. Takes Skyscraper 7-3.
Yeah, QuadHeadShot, they were showing a little bit of fight, but ultimately in the end, Blue.x just really able to take that one out. They played, I think, the better Breachers today in that match, and we'll see them in game number 2.
Folks, we'll be right back. That was map number 1, Skyscraper. We'll be back after a quick break. Welcome back,
folks. Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
Welcome back, folks, to the Breachers VRML here on week 3, going for This is a week 2 reschedule here for QuadHeadShot and Blue.x. We just got off a very exciting first map here. Skyscraper 7-3 for Blue.x, proving the connoisseurs wrong. We'll see if QuadHeadShot can get this back. Looks like we'll be getting into the next one pretty quickly. Chum, what did you think about that first matchup?
I think it's kind of funny to see the reactions in the live chat. Definitely a connoisseur upset. In Breachers, the connoisseur culture isn't quite there yet compared to other VRML leagues, but I feel like some people in the chat are feeling the burn. They're feeling the salt in the wound.
Yeah, and it's I feel like there's like this sadistic side of us that's like we aim to really just upset all of the connoisseurs, but at the same time it's like we like seeing the connoisseurs be right, and so sometimes we prove the connoisseurs wrong, but we're just kind of like the messenger at the end of the day. Right. So
kill the messenger, right?
But game number 1, Skyscraper, it was pretty set right from the first half. Blue.x just had a dominating 5-1 half there, and they were playing really well. A little bit of a rocky start in half number 2, and QuadHeadShot able to capitalize on that, but then Blue.x kicked it back into overdrive, and they just shut that down immediately. So I'm interested to see what a map number 2 is going to be. Probably Hideout, I'd have to guess, unless we're just going to go crazy tonight and throw in them all. But, anything is possible, as I say on a cast. So we'll hopefully see what that possibility is relatively soon.
Sounds good. It looks like we are going to be having... Sorry.
I think it's a timeout from...
Is it? They voted on a map. Sorry.
They have?
Yeah, they voted on a map. Apologies, folks. I think maybe a bit of confusion here in the casting booth. But if it is a timeout here, it looks like we are going to be having these players take a timeout. It looks like we will. Yeah, it looks like they will be taking a timeout here. So, we've been seeing a very exciting matchup, and I'm excited to see what the next map is going to be. But for now, I think we are going to be back after a bit of a short break. We'll be coming back to you live between these two teams to see if QuadHeadShot can take map 2 to bring us to map 3. Welcome back, everyone, to the Breachers VRML here on the VRML network channel for VRML. I'm saying VRML a lot. I got to check that punch card a little bit here. But we are back between QuadHeadShot and Blue.x after a bit of a time out, getting their thoughts together, getting collected. QuadHeadShot looking to go into this pretty strong after an unfortunate loss on Skyscraper. But I think they'll be able to get this back. QuadHeadShot is starting on defense here on Factory, which may work out for them a little bit better. Their bot now is going to be Bot Jordy, strong name for a strong matchup.
Exactly.
I like to see it. We do have a Taurus coming out here from Wardax. Hopefully he puts it to good use. And actually a Cyclone from Bot Jordy, not a Bald Jesper, which is surprising, honestly. I think maybe the bots have some better variety in their guns. It looks like we are going to see a meta push here from Blue.x.
Yeah, I mean, those bots, they have some pretty good eco management sometimes. And this is probably one of those rounds where they do. So always good to see that. And as we slowly approach in here, of course, always a fun time to shout out a couple people, but and shout out to everybody in the live chat. Shout out to all of VRML and all the sponsors that make VRML a reality. Love your support and all that. And we hope to keep providing all the awesome action here. But as we're going to be slowly creeping up the stairs here, alt account with that EMP and, a bit of a slow approach this time around. A little explosions going on in the background. No breach just yet, but we're going to speed things up a little bit. Mines going off there. And alt account going to be tossing an instant to prevent the peak. So tosses a second instant. I like this instant placement. I don't know if maybe QuadHeadShot are going to disrespect them, but no. A little bit of the damage on that nade. And the EMP does go down. Ghost is high, does get block blast there, so, and alt account finds Wardax, so, and the health on QuadHeadShot not looking that fantastic. There is Kurapika going to be now dead before I can even say they have 2 HP, and Ghost is high, getting taken out there, but PlaySpace Abuser right there for the trade, and Blue.x in almost a near perfect fashion, taking the first round 1-0.
Yeah, almost a flawless there again from Blue.x. We saw them get that flawless in the first pistol round of the match. They didn't manage to pick up a second one, but, very good gameplay there from QuadHeadShot, barely not able to get off. I do want to take a moment to shout out Peaceful. Thank you for coming out, here on VRML and on my personal streams. Very nice of you to come out. Glad to see you. We do have, I believe, nearly a 3K there from one of the Blue.x players, but barely don't get it off. Blue.x already up here, but like we talked about before, Yellow, this... the pistol round is super important, but the round after is just as important because this is where either you even up the economy or the team just starts snowballing and taking it away.
Yeah, I mean, and you see that in a lot of economy-based games too, that conversion round. If you're the team that lost the pistol round and somehow you manage to pull off the conversion round win, I mean, that sets you up for something that's, that sets you up to really turn around the half immediately. And so, QuadHeadShot are going to be looking to do that here, but, we are going to be getting into round number 2. And again, just a little bit of dronage coming out from a resident drone pilot alt account there, who's going to allow Colt and... I believe that's Pixel Walker, going to be able to at least enter storage there, and they're going to be making their entrance through the stairs, so that's going to be getting cleared out a little bit. No people actually hiding out in stairs. QuadHeadShot playing a pretty standard setup here, not, overextending or doing anything. That drone does finally get shot down there, and we still have 2 minutes left of the round, so still plenty of time for absolute carnage there. We do see a little bit of pre-fire coming in. I'm believing Colt and Pixelwater maybe want to... Oh, well, the bot does give team kills, so maybe they're trying to steal its gun or whatnot. So, when in doubt. But again, the second drone coming in from, this time, Colt, who is going to be our resident drone pilot here. Minute 35 on the clock, and it does get shot down by the player in connector. And Wardax is also going to be potentially spotted here, but we are going to be seeing some breaching foam here pretty soon. Alt account could be thrown in the entry util here, and I think we're going to be seeing the push in just a second here, Plague Doctor.
Yeah, they're looking to push in. Alt account throwing the EMP in rather than his smoke, nearly ending in disaster there as the incendiary goes down. Kokona takes out Pixel Walker as Ghost is high, gets the refrag. Krupka pushing straight out, gets the player on the window. Block Blast Fiend pushing straight in. trying to figure out where these players are up in the hatch. Alt account accidentally takes out PlaySpace Abuser. I think it was accidental, might have been on purpose, but I'm pretty sure it was accidental. Block Blast getting shot from hatch. Blue.x actually opting to not shoot out the hatch might be a good play here. Block Blast might have some stick drift here. Very interesting. Kropika takes out Colt, and I believe QuadHeadShot is going to claim this round. Well done there from QuadHeadShot. I think Blue.x just barely didn't get that off, and with that, feel like it was probably accidental, but with that TK up on the door, it just felt like they kind of let it slip out of their fingers.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very nice, like, plant strat coming in from, Blue.x there, double smoke into kitchen, just get the EMP down, set up for the post plant, but they didn't really have too much of a post plant to work with there. And QuadHeadShot were just able to come in, swoop the retake. They had a 3-on-3 fight, and they just made it happen. So, I mean, props to QuadHeadShot for pulling out that conversion round win. And so we are going to be seeing Blue.x, they're going to force buy into this. They actually even force buy a Marui there as well. But, so again, we're going to see another even fight as Blue.x are just trying to force, the victory here. But, if they're not super careful with their economy, even despite the player advantage that they have, they could still wind up throwing this one away. So got to be careful that you don't get too reckless there. But we'll see if this one works out for them.
Looks like they are going to actually be going for, I believe, a meta push. Actually, off meta onto the hatch. Interesting 3-person push here. They're going to be going for a quick A push, it seems. See if they go to drop straight in. Block Blast and Kropka, I believe they hear it, but they don't quite know where they're coming from. Hatch is open. They do go for the quick drop. Alt account is going to get in-send out. He has nowhere to go, gets naded out. It's going to be rough for Blue.x to get this off now because QuadHeadShot knows exactly where they are, but PlaySpace here is a great nade in from the hatch, taking out Block Blast immediately. However, Blue.x needs to get into the point to plant that, and now they've Kropka and Wardax both knowing exactly where EMP is. PlaySpace gets in, goes to plant. Wardax flanking him out. There's no one on the hatch. What is Colt doing? Colt could have taken him out as he came up, but he chose not to, it seems. Kokona takes out Colt. Now, just Pixel Walker up here in assembly, heading in through War Room towards the hatch. They think there's someone up on the hatch, but doesn't look like there is. That is rough for Blue.x. They tried to get in, but that great util from QuadHeadShot prevented them from getting the plant down at all.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know how Colt doesn't find an immediate refrag there, or does it even like try to just drop in or whatnot. But I mean, even then, your teammates planting, you should be ideally guarding them in some way or fashion, and maybe just the angle wasn't right. Maybe I shouldn't be as critical, but that seems like something that if you're playing at a decently high level, that's not something that you should be really missing there. But again, Pixel Walker going to be saving this Marui up here, and again, just to kind of comment on what you were saying too, we had a lot of really nice util there. Double mollies coming out as soon as the hatch drop went down to prevent the initial plant. Actually catches Pix, or I believe it was PlaySpace Abuser trying to plant that EMP, but and then we had one of the other players throw a really nice grenade onto one of the QuadHeadShot players, and so again, just back and forth util that can really just completely change the round and the course of it and everything. But again, we're going to be seeing Pixel Walker saving here, might as well, especially because that Marui was a heavy investment for the round, especially with that recent price increase up to 3,200 back from when it used to be 2,900. So QuadHeadShot for the first time in the entire series going to be in the lead in terms of score.
Are ahead here. Personally, if I was Pixel Walker, this might just be me, I would have stayed near the hatch in case one of the QuadHeadShot players got a little bit hungry for kills and came up to that hatch like they did. Like getting just a quick pick off with that Marui might have been good, but I think they were going to play it safe, trying to just save that Marui, and that's probably a good play. That's typically what I'm a proponent of. Top floor factory here is going to be rough for Blue.x to push in, just because QuadHeadShot is going to be pretty dug in, especially with 5 rifles, Bot Jordy holding down an Arill, a single Vezin, and then 3 Maruis. However, Blue.x did win on pistol round up here, so we'll see if they can recreate that with different weaponry. However, 3 SMGs and 2 rifles here from Blue.x is going to be kind of a rough economy for them to get this. I think more utility over on Blue.x would help them rather than trying to get more weaponry.
Yeah, I mean, again, we were talking about utility last time. We saw very much how utility affected the round, and I think that's going to be something that both teams really need to try to get as much as they possibly can there. So we are going to see the classic hatch opening and potentially the wall push here into the A site. That's a tried and true strategy probably since the alpha of breachers. I mean, that's a play that everybody knows these days. But again, we have a 3-man sneak over on the second floor here with alt account on that EMP once again. So as soon as, maybe the hatch blows is when they're going to blow open the wall, maybe try to divert the attention of QuadHeadShot here. But, time is slowly ticking, and that hatch does actually get blown up by play space abusers. So they are going to be able to, get in there, and so they do finally drop down, and they're going to regroup with the rest of the teammates. Alarm goes off. Cole taking a lot of damage. Kokona takes out the Pixel Walker there, and so they're just going to be pre-firing that wall, and it works out for them over on the QuadHeadShot side. So a bit of an adaptation there. Alt account maybe looking to get that EMP down, but a static field could prevent him from doing that. Grenades going out, another grenade going out, and Blue.x actually doing a decent job of baiting out the utility here, but we're going to see a brawl in just a second here, I think, as that wall does get blown up. Black Blast does find Ghost there. Uto goes down, and Colt losing a lot of health, but alt account going to be trying to plant that EMP. PlayStation Abuser does watch the angle there, but alt account going to be burnt to a crisp there with an, dare I say, an S tier molly there. 6 HP on a Colt, 100 HP on the PlayStation Abuser. Colt somehow manages to find the bot, but now 4 players stare him down, and if he even so much peeks a pixel of his body, he's gonna die. And PlayStation Abuser lines up 2, but needed 2 more there. So QuadHeadShot taking a 3rd round here, so maybe a little bit of rejoice here for our connoisseurs who so heavily favored them.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be rough there for Blue.x. They had the EMP down. They just barely couldn't hold it off. I just think getting up and claiming, more of a rifle there, the RCP was just not a good idea. And then Wardax had that great pre-fire onto the vending machine. He knew someone was going to be behind it, so he just immediately came around it. No fluff, no, peeking, then shooting, just straight up, went in, tried to get the kill off, and managed to get it. Now, Blue.x, their backs are a little against the wall. The best they can do here is tie QuadHeadShot to give themselves a better pistol round next time, but they're gonna have to put the work in, and like you said, maybe redeeming the connoisseurs a little bit here, especially QuadHeadShot up 2 on a 4v5 is, it's very commendable, I would say.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we were talking about maybe get a ringer, but some people apparently don't believe in that from what I've been told. So, it is what it is at the end of the day. But the fact that they're able to play so well, even at a disadvantageous situation, I mean, that kind of shows. And especially after losing game number 1, you would think the mental would just be in the absolute gutter. But they're proving that maybe that's not the case here. But we do see our resident drone pilot alt account here going to be scanning out for any sort of lurkers, roamers, what have you. And again, doing a bit of a similar approach here. And I think that's something too here that we're seeing out of Blue.x is they're kind of going for the same thing over and over again on each of the floors. And, the only one that worked was the one that, the push that they did on that pistol round there. So, maybe if they're able to change something up here or whatnot, they could see some success.
Yeah, no, I think that's something that we've been seeing from a lot of teams is, especially with Valor. I'll take them as an example. Valor has practice plays that they do a lot. And so even though they do the same play on a lot of the points, they have it down so well that a lot of teams can't really defend it. And I think that's something that a lot of teams need to realize is that takes commitment. That takes a lot of time to get off. And so having different plays can let you, it's a bit of a crutch. It allows you to try to get that off, allows you to try to basically, work it out. Alt account barely doesn't get that plant off for his team. Pixel Walker does get the plant off, but now it is a 2v3, 2v2. PlaySpace Abuser takes out Wardax. Now it is just PlaySpace Fuser and Colt here trying to watch the EMP. They do rappel up. Krupka pushing straight towards the stairs. Undaunted. No one watching the EMP here. Block Blast is waiting on the hatch. We do have Krupka going for a fake defuse. Pros don't fake. Block Blast taking out Colt upstairs. PlaySpace here, I think, needs to just watch the EMP. He can't let this get off. He's just going to let them get this off? He's just going to let them get this off. Oh, no. Bot Jordy survives, too. And now QuadHeadShot has a 5th. Maybe we'll see them turn this. We'll see Blue.x, maybe, if they can turn this around. But I think it's going to be rough for them here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Blue.x are trying to overcomplicate things just a little bit too much. I mean, you know, they were going for some crazy sort of setup on the post plant. Like, I mean, I get that you're outnumbered, you know, 3-2 there in terms of player count, but maybe you just simplify it a little bit, you know? I mean, you don't have to go for, like, these crazy, like, 200 IQ plays, because half the time that, you know, if you're not really prepared for what's coming from the defense, who now swaps into the attack when that EMP gets planted, like, then it's not really going to work out. Sometimes it's just better to just stay with the basics. I mean, both of them are so far removed from that EMP in the first place. I mean, QuadHeadShot didn't even have to fake it, like fake the defuse. So, you know, I understand that, you know, maybe you're trying to change something up, and I did say that in the beginning of the round, sure, but at the same time, I mean, on the post plant, I don't know, just try to support each other, I guess, is really the main thing there. But definitely a different scoreline that we're seeing from, you know, QuadHeadShot this time around. They are up 4-1 here, which is really got to be good for their mental, I gotta say.
Yeah, no, it's got to be great for their mental here. Now pushing into assembly, Blue.x trying to push straight up towards A. They're going to be met by 3 of these QuadHeadShot players, I believe, immediately. A bit rough here. I think QuadHeadShot has some great reads on Blue.x, actually. You know, they've been pretty well able. Great grenade there. S-tier frag is going to take out alt account. In the words of Bob there, another incendiary and a smoke here is going to immediately block off any momentum Blue.x might have picked up by getting that wall blown. And now QuadHeadShot lined up pretty well here on a 5v4. Health is pretty low over on Blue.x. Not a scratch on any of these players on QuadHeadShot. It's going to be rough here for Blue.x to get this off. However, I think QuadHeadShot used a lot of their utility really early, kind of crippling themselves when it comes to preventing a plant, which means Blue.x could try to push up if they want to. You know, they don't have anything to prevent it. PlaySpace Fuser is on flank watch. We have Colt and Pixel Walker both sitting up on the wall. Alt account does get taken out by that great grenade. It's just going to be rough here for Blue.x to get this off, especially since they're going in blind. They don't have a drone. They don't really have any way to gain information. They do have a cloak from Pixel Walker, but people, you know how to recognize that.
Yeah, I mean, they've just kind of burnt time by just sitting out here. I mean, I know they had to wait for one player to be healed up in terms with the stim there, but Colt going to be throwing a molly, but that's just going to block them off. And Kurta takes out Colt there, and, you know, now a 5-on-3, there's no refrag, there's no trades happening at all. I mean, if you're gonna send it. Like, you're just kind of giving up your life for free there. And now we're at 30 seconds left, and they need to go for this, considering it is the last round of the first half. But Blue.x, I mean, they're running out of time. They're just burning time here. Ghost is high, does find one, gets the kill on the honey bun, but again, immediately traded out. Ward.x finds PlaySpace Abuter and finds a second, and just like that, a little bit of a victory dance. I mean, just absolutely dominating Blue.x this time around. So what was a Blue.x 5-1 dominating half, now on the game number 2, you know, QuadHeadShot are going to be up 5-1. It's definitely a different game that we're seeing here for game number 2, I gotta say. And, you know, QuadHeadShot are playing way better this time around.
100%. I think maybe they came in cold on map 1, or maybe they haven't done too much Skyscraper, anything like that. I don't know. They weren't putting out a great showing on Skyscraper, but maybe it was just lulling Blue.x into a false sense of security. You know, now that QuadHeadShot is up 4, it's going to be rough for Blue.x to really get this back. But they can get it off. We have seen more, drastic comebacks before. I myself, I've seen a 7-point comeback before where they were down 6-0 and then they went up 7-0. It can happen. It has happened. Will it happen this time? I'm not too sure. QuadHeadShot has some great momentum build up here, especially with their 5th player coming in now. With the Spectral, they can make a difference here now, not having dead weight in a bot.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see that finally we've alleviated the 4v5 situation, and Colt maybe getting a little bit aggressive here, but Kokona might even wind up punishing that out. Colt does find the initial shots, but look at that, just gets immediately cut out as the player comes up behind him, so tries to play aggressive, doesn't really work out here, so, Drone finally gets shot down. Minute 45 in the clock, and QuadHeadShot are basically ready for the push at this point. Alt account just get completely dunked on there as Block Blast finds the kill there, only taking 1 shot of damage there. A little, very minor amount of chip damage, so probably like a D tier frag coming out. Ghost is high, does find Kokona there, so, a frag going the way of Blue.x. EMP gets tossed from Wardax over to Kurta there, as we are going to be now in a retake situation. A nice Horus headshot coming in from Wardax there as he finds Ghost is high, shuts him down. Block Blast going to be taken down to just a singular point of HP, and now comes the post plant setup from QuadHeadShot and a retake situation from Blue.x as they really have to try to find something. They do finally get the kill onto Black Blast, who is that 1 HP player, but Pixel Walker loses a decent amount, and oh my god, another headshot coming in from Wardax. Can he make it a third? He gets the tag on the PlaySpace Abuser, and PlaySpace Abuser kind of realizing he is SOL at this point, as he's only got 8 HP, and he's gonna get aggro push. Kurta does go down, not able to land a single shot, but even then, I mean, not really making things happen here, and QuadHeadShot are going to be on match point.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like Blue.x there kind of fumbled. They let QuadHeadShot get a free plant off. If you noticed, there was no utility on that door. There was no trip mine, no static, no door blocker to stop momentum. QuadHeadShot was free to just push straight on in. They were able to get the plant off pretty much immediately if they wanted to. I think Blue.x maybe underestimated how quick QuadHeadShot was going to push in. They didn't really have too many throwables. They didn't really have too many incendiaries. They had, I believe, a smoke. And I think they just kind of underestimated how well QuadHeadShot was going to do on that push. And that's left them with their backs against the wall. They need to get 5 rounds in a row to get to OT, or else QuadHeadShot will bring them to a 3rd map. Alt account is going to be roaming upstairs. Ghost is high, is going to be on the hatch, which may fake out Kokona here, but will it be enough?
Yeah, I mean, Cody in the last round just getting picked by the vending machine just because he was trying to go for an early pick of his own and just get shot in the back. I mean, you don't have to play aggressive there either. I mean, I understand that sometimes those aggressive plays can pay off, but it's also very much a risk, and a risk that didn't reward them at all.
100%. And we do have Alt account here chilling by the window. I'm guessing he's probably going to be trying to, peek out of this window eventually. Will he do it fast enough? Actually, he's heading downstairs towards storage on the flank. Hopefully, QuadHeadShot goes on the flank watch, and it looks like Krupka does go on flank watch. Alt account takes him out with that RCP, but he looks to push straight back, but Kokona gets the refrag. A great trade there from QuadHeadShot. They take down the RCP over on Blue.x. Now they're a bit of a disadvantage numbers-wise as well as rifle-wise. Great incendiary blocking off the connector here from QuadHeadShot. They're able to split off these players. Wardax takes out Ghost is high. PlaySpace User trying to get any picks off he can. There's a player stuck here in assembly. Kokona takes out Colt, who is an A. Now Wardax takes out Pixel Walker. It is just PlaySpace Abuser against 4 players here, and QuadHeadShot claims the 7-1 victory on Factory.
Well, God
are you doing?
Unbelievable map 2 here on Factory. Slam dunk. My name is Chumbait. I'm joined by Plague Doctor and Yellow Hat. We're having, I mean, honestly, I should have popped some popcorn because this is an insane matchup so far. What do you think, guys?
I'm not sure what was going on there from where, you know, QuadHeadShot lost like 7-3, and then all of a sudden they kick it into overdrive, and it's like, oh, hey, we're just going to win 7-1. Like, you know, to heck with you guys. I mean, it's absolutely insane stuff. We definitely saw QuadHeadShot just playing way better, and then Blue.x is just like, they weren't trading people out. They didn't have that same level of like confidence or cohesion that they had on map 1, I have to say. Like, you know, Factory was not their map, and it really kind of showed.
Yeah, it felt different here for QuadHeadShot almost. It feels like maybe they went into Skyscraper cold. Maybe they went into it in a bad mental state, but they really, you know, as maybe they really locked in for that map. You know, now heading into our third map here on Hideout. We'll see how it goes. We do have QuadHeadShot starting on offense and Blue.x starting on defense. QuadHeadShot has been doing pretty well on offense, so I'm curious to see if they can continue the streak. You know, this is our third map, so we'll see how it goes, if QuadHeadShot can secure the victory or if Blue.x can pry it out of their hands and get it off for themselves.
Yeah, well, I mean, Plague Doctor, this is finally a prediction I get right tonight, because we are seeing Hideout, you know, the fan favorite. I did say this map was going to get played, and, you know, maybe, you know, I thought it was going to be a little bit earlier, but, you know, finally it's happening now. And, you know, again, like I said, fan favorite map. And, you know, to your credit, I mean, it is definitely going to be interesting now that we finally have, you know, all 5 players on both sides. So, you know, that definitely changes the dynamic, the mood, the mental a little bit. But, interesting enough, we might see alt account go for an early pick here with that window. He's just waiting for the right moment here, but you know, player does get spotted out over in storage there. Ghost is high is going to drop from the 3rd floor to the 2nd floor, and just maybe we see a bit of a peak, but Wardex does get taken out pretty rough, down to 17 HP, and Kurapika getting down to 6 HP. So at least Blue.x getting that early damage in this round, which is something that they oh so desperately need if they want to win game number 3 here.
And we did have alt count on a very early peek out from that laundry window. Just barely couldn't get it off, but nearly took out 2 of these QuadHeadShot players. Colt here waiting very patiently on storage to get in. Alt count takes out Honeybun. Upstairs, Colt trying to get the kill up there with the Cyclone, does reveal his position, but still takes out Kokona regardless. Colt taking out another, nearly taking out Block Blast as well. Alt account gets taken out by Kurapika, and now it is just Kurapika and Block Blast trying to get this off. 2v3 here, now 2v2. Block Blast gets pretty low, only 32 health here between these QuadHeadShot players. Meanwhile, still 200 here for Blue.x. It's a rough time here for QuadHeadShot to get in, but they might be able to get this off. We'll see if they can get it. Block Blast does have EMP here, so he at least does have a good position. 89 health here from Pixel Walker. We'll see if they can get in. It looks like they're trying to just get in the point if they can. PlaySpace Abuser nor Pixel Walker have any utility to block off this plant, so they have to do it manually. PlaySpace Abuser does go down a little bit here. We'll see if Kurapika can get that plant off.
He's really trying. I mean, he's reaching around the wall, trying to make it happen. And there it is. There's a headshot onto Kurta there. So EMP does not go down. And now it's Block Blast with that 26 HP to try to make something happen. He does have the breaching foam. Not like it's going to serve him too much use at this point, but has to go for that EMP plant within the next 25 seconds. Is actually going to elect to blow down the wall. And, you know, open up some angles here, maybe see if he can find something. He finds a headshot on the Pixel Walker, and can he find the second? Gets the tag on the PlayStation Abuser. Now they have equal health. Just misses a boatload of shots there. 8 seconds. Needs to get this EMP down, and PlayStation Abuser is going to let him. Somehow he's going to let that plant go down, and now in a 1 versus 1 situation, and Block Blast somehow clutches it out. I was literally this close to saying if somehow quad headshot win this round, I might have to take 30 seconds here because there is no shot with the health advantage that Blue.x had that they should have lost that round, but somehow they found a way to, and quad headshot win that pistol round in a crazy fashion. And yeah, go and celebrate quad headshot because I mean, that is a morale buster right there.
I have to say, you know, kudos to Block Blast. That was a 4K, nearly an ace to get that clutch off. You know, well done to him. And it's going to set him up really well economy-wise. He's buying a Viper and still has 2,000 left over for any utility he wants. I mean, if I'm him, I'm grabbing a stim probably, or grabbing an Arill maybe, just to get that intermediary rifle to really get a lead going. Blue.x, they had that in their hands, and then Quad Headshot just yanked it away from them. Gotta be rough on their mental, but, you know, that was only pistol round. Now we're heading into, you know, the second round here. We'll see if Blue.x can get this off. They can even up the economy. I'll be excited to see it. We do have Kurapka waiting here on the window. May try to push in on alt account with that RCP. We'll see if they can get it off.
Yeah, I mean, alt account is in a pretty peculiar position, and now especially...
Oh, what a frag!
Oh, alt account does finally get curve key. Oh my god, that was like an S+ tier frag. Like, come on now. That was just insane. That was like a little artillery strike just going through the door, and you know, the Blue.x player not able to make that happen. But nice shots coming in from Honeybun there as he finds Colt there, and now all of a sudden for Blue.x it's a 5-on-2. But alt account gonna be shooting block blasts right in the rear there from the underside, and Kokona does find Ghost's high. So now they know that the last player is over. You know, on a floor below due to that one kill, but EMP going to be going down, and where's this EMP going to get planted? Oh my god, it's going to get planted in the showers? Oh my goodness, yeah. Good luck retaking this one, buddy, because I don't think you're going to do that unless you have some miraculous stuff planned here.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm alt account here, I have $250. As much as it hurts, I'd be saving. You know, they don't really have rifles. You know, they don't have much better economy than you. I just think saving it out here, keeping the RSP would be really good rather than going down immediately. Now you're down 2 rounds and you're down, I believe it's $1,600 from that RCP. It's going to be rough here for Blue.x because now they don't have a lot of money. Pixel Walker resorting to getting a Cadillo. Rather than, you know, saving for Marui, they need to get some rounds off here. Meanwhile, Quad Headshot, do you see how comfortable they are right now? They could get rifles and more.
Yeah, I mean, you know, another fantastic round from Quad Headshot, and you know, they're sitting with a pretty penny there. I mean, even Wardax, like 3,900, he's going to be good for a couple rounds at least, even if he somehow loses this round here. But I mean, you know, Quad Headshot, they're just playing so much more fantastically, and you know, util usage is up there. They're getting the, you know, even if they get picked, they immediately get the refrag and make it work. So you know, they're playing really, really well. And Colt maybe going for a cheeky play of some sort. I'm not entirely certain what he's doing, hiding out in that corner there. I don't know whether this is a 1 IQ or a 100 IQ play, but we'll see what happens. He's priming some sort of util. Oh
what
my god! No, on. You gotta be kidding me!
That's the second one, man. Oh my goodness! And then we had alt account trying to return the favor and barely couldn't get it off. But that's an immediate great start for Quad Headshot. Block Blast getting the kill off on Ghost is high. Quad Headshot coming in here with a bang, you know, going straight in. Kurapka looking to push straight up. Wall is foamed. Pixel Walker here behind the bomb, trying to get any picks off he can. Play space here and as well. Alt account upstairs, not sure when it's good to push down. And Kokona takes him out on front door. Pixel Walker takes out Kurapka, but Wardax is free to plant if he wants to. And B, I feel like a late stage drone here might have been good for Quad Headshot, but it looks like now it's just play space who gets pushed in on Kokona, and Kokona gets the kill. Quad Headshot claims that quickly. Yellow Hat, what are we seeing here?
I think we're seeing 61 connoisseurs being right, if I'm going to be quite frank about it. I mean, they're just playing so well, and I feel like just Blue.x are just trying to rely on gun skill. And when you play at a higher level, you can't just rely on gun skill. There's got to be something else that happens. There's got to be some teamwork. There's got to be a level of discipline. I mean, you have Colt just getting early picks by a nade because he's trying to hang out in the garage there. And it's like, if he didn't do that, then maybe the round would go a little bit differently. But, he hangs out there, and sometimes you got to learn those things the hard way, and that's why it's good to go back on those casts. And maybe I'm being a little bit overly critical and might get an angry DM about it later. But you know what? It's a learning process at the end of the day, and we're trying to spice things a little bit up here in VRML. But really, I mean, it's just QuadHeadShot. They're playing so gosh dang well.
Yeah, I know it's going to be rough for Blue.x to get this off. Now, they are on bottom floor here, so they could get it off. Like a hatch play. They could just blow the hatch. It might work out for them. Ghost is high, gets an immediate pickoff here in Kokona, as well as Block Blast. Going for a 3K. Colt gets taken out by WardX. Explosive start here. QuadHeadShot now down 2 players. A great trade-off there for Blue.x to take down 2 players for 1. Maybe looking up for them here. Alt account is up on Laundry. Should be okay here. He might peek out. He doesn't really have any utility to toss out, so if he does want to peek out, now is the time, as there is no one looking at him. He prepares to do it. Kropka is here, unfortunately does fail the grenade there on the wall breach. Alt account barely doesn't peek out in time. He does peek out in time, takes out Kropka. WardX here, trying to take anyone out. Honeybun takes out Pixel Walker. WardX takes out Ghost is high. Now a 2v2 here. However, alt account is stuck off the point. Meanwhile, we have PlaySpace user taking out WardX. Now a 1v2 for Honeybun, as Honeybun gets taken out by PlaySpace user, and Blue.x claims their first round.
There it is. There's the change-up that they needed. They really just got in QuadHeadShot's face. They did the unexpected. They, went with the early aggression, and then, they did their best to fall back. And, honestly, taking the W, if you get an early pick, you take your W, you fall right back. And I think they finally were able to do that, and they set themselves up to at least get a couple of trade kills as well in the process. But even then, it was still 2-on-2, so it could have went south. But I mean, alt account was just in the right place at the right time there. So definitely shout out them. I would say they were one of the MVPs of the round. Other one being Ghost is high for getting those 2 early picks. So chat, I'm not just glazing QuadHeadShot. I promise you, I do give Blue.x credit where it's due. All right. So nevertheless, we're going to be seeing the penultimate round of the first half, and a very interesting trip mine placement there, if I do say so myself. I wonder if anybody's actually going to fall for that. It would be quite hilarious.
I've seen that from a few teams that I've never seen it work. I hope it does, but I've never seen those trips work, just because a lot of teams will drone out Garage. We'll see if it works this time, though. We do have a 4-person push here from QuadHeadShot onto Garage. That drone is going to come through and immediately see those trips. Yeah, and is baffled by them. You see it stopping and staring at them for a moment. It was baffled by those trips on the ceiling. Honeybun does get flashed out, but is fine. Only a very bold move here from Blue.x. Only 2 people on points. Meanwhile, Ghost is high is outside. So is Colt. Ghost is high gets taken down by a great flank watch from Kokona immediately. Kokona is pretty low. And actually, QuadHeadShot doesn't have any stims here, so it's going to be rough for them. Playing a game of attrition here, as Colt throws a great nade in here. Almost gets it off. Kokona gets the great flank off on Colt. Alt count is stuck upstairs here. And actually, QuadHeadShot has full control of B, as all of these Blue.x players are completely off the point.
Yeah, man.
Now Block Blast.
PlaySpace Abuser is going to try to come back, but I mean, again, there's a lot of off-site placement going on here, and I don't really think it's okay, no. Interesting. Oh, are they going to watch it from below? Are we going to see one of those?
They're going to watch it from below. This PlaySpace user does get the kill off on Honeybun. Kropka gets kill off on Pixel Walk, but 3v2 here for Blue.x. Yellow, they completely abandoned B point. They just gave it to QuadHeadShot on a silver platter.
Oh, but PlaySpace Abuser goes right down. Headshot through the wall, and now it's alt account. Not a lot of time, so I'm thinking just based off of time alone, this is going to be a ooh, nice headshot coming in from Kurapika there. Quad headshot up 4-1 now. So I like that post plant strat. That's an example of changing it up where a post plant, where that actually works because they're close enough to the EMP to where they can at least deny the defuse right away. They're not so ungodly off far sight. I'm to the point where I'm just completely messing up my words there, but I mean it's that was like a unique post plant setup that I think actually works, and it did. Sure, it was a 2 versus 3 retake, but even then, like, even if it was 3-on-3, even if it was 4-on-3, I still feel like quad headshot win that just based off of like placement and whatnot. So it really depends, but we're in the final round of that first half. Both teams have rifles. A little bit of a celebratory dance there coming in from that quad headshot. They're feeling good. We're feeling good. We're ready to get into this last round here. And Plague Doctor, I will let you go ahead and take this one away.
Yeah, I think that was a great play from Quad Headshot. And what's really nice about it is, looking at analyzing that, it forces Blue.x to commit to either killing players or the EMP. With opening the hatch below, it means that if they drop down, they really can't get up in time here. Kurapika takes out alt account. I was just talking about the play here, guys. Give me a break. And now we do a Pixel Walker here, avoiding a nade on the window. We don't see another S tier frag. We do have Ghost is high, waiting in the bedroom here on a 1v1 with Honeybun, but now gets third-partied by Kokona. Honeybun gets the refrag. Trade of bodies here. However, Blue.x is down a player from Quad Headshot. And now they open up the A wall. Pixel Walker is up on the bench here. Colt is biding his time behind the bomb. We'll probably see some utility coming out. Yep, we do see utility. Colt pushes straight up. That gets taken out by Wardax. I'm not quite sure. He pushed straight up there. And now PlaySpace Abuser is alone on B. Looks like he might be a little distracted here. Maybe he doesn't even know he's alone. I think you can't save here, so what do you do if you're PlaySpace Abuser? You're going to go through, looks like a connector, but I think Quad Headshot is a little hungry for kills. They're going to be pushing straight through. They are cloaked. If PlaySpace Abuser tries to push in here, and Kurapika takes out PlaySpace Abuser. Now they're at 5-1 here. It's going to be rough. I do see Lightning Fan 6 in the chat and Undertaken talking about this matchup. Blue.x was a good Echo team. I think they're doing relatively well here on Breachers, just working through it, and as well as Lightning Fan saying he played with PlaySpace User in ranked. Good to see some members of the community coming out and supporting some of the players they've seen.
For sure. And I feel like maybe I'm roasting a couple people, who knows, but I mean, even then it's always good to support each other in the community at the end of the day, and we just all want each other to have a fun time and to grow individually and as teams. So that's why we'll see kind of me go on a little analysis tangents like this and whatnot, but I mean, truthfully, Quad Headshot, they're playing fantastically, and they're just capitalizing on a lot of the mistakes that Blue.x are doing. And I do have to give credit to Blue.x for some rounds. They did bring it close, but even sometimes, like, I feel like their defensive setups, like, they just have a lot of people that are just trying to roam and get those flank kills, when I feel like it would be a little bit better if maybe they just were a little bit more cohesive of a unit, and they were, just working on site together and just trading each other out. I mean, that was something we saw really well in the last round. One player over on oh my god, nice headshot coming out from Ghost is high there onto Black Blast. So good start for Blue.x. We'll, of course, still give them that credit and everything. But as I was saying, I mean, put yourself in positions where you can trade each other out. And Quad Headshot were definitely doing that in the last half. And oh my god, another nice double headshot. Kokona tries to go for the frag there, and Ghost just denies that. So PlaySpace is gonna go through the window now, and now we're gonna lean a little bit towards A. PlaySpace Abuser finds a kill onto Wardax, and now all of a sudden for Quad Headshot, it's a 2 versus 5. So already we're seeing a different level of play out of Blue.x.
Blue.x is down a player. Bot Robin here trading out for Colt. It's going to be rough here for Blue.x to get this off. Now down a player. Bot's going to grab EMP. It's going to be even worse as it moves into the point to plant. It's going to get taken out by Honeybun most likely. Yeah, it gets taken out. Play space abuser doesn't push in, does take out Honeybun here. Now a 1v4 here. It's going to be all right for Blue.x unless Kurapika does push in, but gets taken out by overwhelming force. Blue.x does get the round off there. Colt does come back, so it's not the end of the world. But that would have been rough for QuadHeadShot, to claim that, and Blue.x was down a player. It would have been almost a mirror of that first map where QuadHeadShot, was down a player and unfortunately went 7-3, or 3-7 rather. Now, bottom floor here for Hideout. This is a very important floor, and arguably, I feel like the floor that the most people do the same exact play on. You blow the wall, you push them through gym and storage, you try to get, control of one or the other. And I feel like, some teams iterating off of that would be really useful. Pushing into A, maybe at least blowing the hatch. Even if you're not going to use it, just blow the hatch, get the QuadHeadShot, get defenders questioning themselves. You can't let them get, comfortable, because that will make it so that they can build up that nest egg.
Exactly. And I mean, the A play, it's definitely way, way, way less common than B, especially because, you have the post plant right outside on B if you blow up in the wall. I mean, that's just been a thing for forever. But, even then, I mean, it'd be interesting to see a player kind of just lurk down the stairs, maybe catch a player in the back of the head, or maybe even have a couple players go over. And look at that, Kokona, again, going for the fight and loses out on it. I mean, QuadHeadShot, they were playing really well on the offense, but again, you got to be careful with being too overconfident. I mean, the more that you're, just giving these early fights for no reason, like there was no reason for Kokona to give that fight there, I'd have to say.
Yeah, no, they were going for the flank there, but I feel like going top floor is typically the better choice. Gives you a bit more cover. Honeybun tried to get the peek off as well, but I just think QuadHeadShot is getting a little overconfident maybe here on the peaks, as they are letting Blue.x claim a lot of ground. If you notice, there's no one in storage. They're not blocking off the push here. Ghost is High is able to just stroll on in along with Play Space Abuser. Hatch is blown, and suddenly, Block Blast does stick up Ghost is High, but suddenly Blue.x has full control of storage. They're able to watch their flank. Wardax peeking through, nearly goes to take out Pixel Walker, but barely can't get the peek off there. But Blue.x is set up well in storage as Block Blast takes up Colt. Honeybun takes an alt count. Suddenly they're reversing this on me, as now Kurapika pushes out, tries to take out one of these players. Pixel gets taken out by Honey, and now PlaySpace is running away, doesn't even turn around to try to shoot, and I'm eating my words here. I thought maybe QuadHeadShot let up a little too much ground, but they had the gunplay to work it out, and now 4 up, 6-2. Blue.x has to get 4 rounds in a row to have a hope of winning this.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tall ask, especially, this late in the game. You're in game 3, you're in the decider game. I mean, you're probably feeling maybe a little bit tired, maybe a little lack of focus, maybe, but this is where you really just got to lock in, and you just got to dig deep and try to find whatever rounds that you can. But I mean, again, actually, interestingly enough, over on the QuadHeadShot side, we don't have any rifles. Whereas Blue.x, we have a Marui and a Vezin. I mean, we got Kokona on a freaking Knut of all things. Oh, no, he's gonna... No, I'm gonna say it because I wanted to see the Knut play, and then no, he's just gonna change to an Omen. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
Well, he heard you,
I know, it's a
change it up
curse.
Just to prove you wrong.
I just have the caster curse like aura. Apparently, it must be some negative aura, but so be it. We're gonna turn the negative into the positive, and we're gonna see Blue.x here try to make a hatch play. They do nade out the middle box there, so maybe getting the information that maybe nobody is behind there. So they're gonna eventually try to work their way into what is presumably the A site here. We do have a lot of pre-fire coming through. Alt account going to be our resident drone pilot for this round, and they're going to try to figure out what information they could possibly find here. But again, just a dirty setup on the A site. Alarm is going to get triggered, but they're going to shoot it out, and really just Blue.x trying to work with whatever space they can manage here, but they do have a little bit of utility to work with. It's not, a completely undoable fight. Colt going to be going over towards that window, actually going to be dropping all the way down and maybe making his way through to somewhere else, but minute and a half left. eventually this wall will get breached, and perhaps alt account going to be the one to do it, or they just keep spamming ping. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to take the risk, take the responsibility. But Colt working his way on the roof as well, maybe going to go down the hatch, rejoin his team. Smoke does go down over on the doorway there. So time is ticking though, and Blue.x are just giving themselves less and less time to really work with, and QuadHeadShot haven't even really thrown that much utility.
Yeah, Blue.x is really running down their clock here. QuadHeadShot right now, with the utility they have, they can waste 20 more seconds on that plant, plus taking down maybe a plant. Well, as I say that, I throw out an incendiary that doesn't really do too much. I feel like I would have waited until the EMP starts to go down, because now that's 10 seconds. They can't stall. Regardless, though, that's what they did. We have Wardax, Honeybun, Krupka, and Kokona. Now they've thrown down 2 of their incendiaries. EMP hasn't even got down. QuadHeadShot has used all of their throwables. What are we doing here, folks? We're supposed to use those to block off the plant, and now Block Blast takes out Ghost is High. Pixel takes out Block Blast. Honeybun gets the refrag on Pixel. Colt takes out Honeybun as Wardax takes out Colt. We're just getting trades back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But Blue.x only has 15 seconds to get this off, and they need to push into the point and plant. EMP is stuck in B. Playspace Fuser trying to push in, does take out Wardax. Tries to take out Krupka. We'll see if Blue.x can get this plant off. Trying to get the plant off. Their hands are shaking. They can't get the plant off. And that's the game.
My goodness. That is not a way you want to lose.
Oh, no.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable finish to map number 3. I mean, I don't think any of us really expected that fumble at the end there, just shaken. I mean, when they initially tried to plant that EMP, they actually could have saved the round there, but the amount of pressure for alt account was just too much. Folks, that was QuadHeadShot versus Blue.x. I mean, what an incredible hideout, not to mention map number 1, Skyscraper. I mean, let's break that down. What happened there for QuadHeadShot on Skyscraper?
I mean, I gotta say, I think it was just, QuadHeadShot really weren't playing as well together as a team, I think. And also, of course, probably the mental from not having all 5 players, that of course plays into it a little bit, and Blue.x just were able to capitalize on it. And then, they're up 5-1, and then they don't really have too many rounds to work with. So I think game 1 kind of, could you just chalk it up to a fluke? Maybe. But again, you got to give credit for Blue.x playing really well early on.
100%. It's really exciting to watch there with, the victory there, especially QuadHeadShot. Unfortunately, with that Connoisseur, I think we talked down to them a little bit, but I feel like QuadHeadShot really brought it back with these 2 maps, and pretty dominantly so.
Yeah, I mean, game number 2 is just a complete shift, and QuadHeadShot, they were just locking it in. Again, they were getting the necessary trades. They were not overextending. They weren't, they were using really good util, and then Blue.x just didn't seem like they really had an answer to that. And then, because it was I think it was a 7-1 finish. I mean, that was pretty rough. And then, you go into game number 3. Maybe a little of that mental from game number 2 is coming into play. You didn't have as long as a break as you did in between game number 1 and number 2. So you're probably still thinking like, oh no, these dudes just still rocked us on map number 2. Like, not feeling as confident. And like, to a certain extent, you just got to take a deep breath and just brush that off. Now, Blue.x, they did have a couple really nice rounds, I gotta say, especially on map number 3. But even then, I mean, just QuadHeadShot, they took a couple rounds that really shouldn't have been theirs. I mean, that initial first pistol round, like, there is no world where you have 2 full health defenders and 2 20 HP attackers, like two defenders that have full HP, should be losing against 2 attackers that have a combined 32 HP. But somehow that happens.
Right.
Hey, it's crazy stuff.
In the end, Blue.x is going to have to take a stab next week. My name was Chumbe. Thank you so much to Plague, Yellowhat, and those of you in chat. Just to finish us off, AZ Delta, Sculpts, Soundwave, Undertaker, Wardax, and many more. Thank you so much for watching. This was the Breachers VRML live on the VRML Network. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll check you guys next time.
VRML is brought to you by Helga, the esports manager, Triangle Factory. Thanks for watching VRML.